The next thing let's talk about is go ahead into the users. Again, really simple. Users is anybody who has a username and password on your site. So right now we only have one. We have the admin, and that's the default one you're going to make when the default account you make when you create WordPress. And then obviously we can go up and we can add new users. When we go in there, it's going to give us all the default options that we had when we set up our WordPress. You know, your username, your password, your email, all of that stuff. And then you have the role here, which is what the person is doing. So if you have a subscriber come to your blog, they will become a user on your blog, okay? And they'll just be listed as a subscriber. Right now, on our main user, we're listed as an administrator because we can do pretty much anything that there is to do on the site. If you have an author, that's a person who's just writing blogs for you, or an editor, a person who's checking over a blog post for you.
Right.
So
there's kind of a detailed description of user roles, I think is what it's called, on the WordPress's website. You can look that up to get an idea, because those are specific levels where a subscriber cannot get into your backend and make changes to your theme.
Right.
Or a contributor can't make changes and break your code. An administrator has the ability to break anything on the website, so you don't want to let just anybody be an administrator on your website.
Yeah, and again, as a developer, this isn't something you're really worried about. You're only using administrator because you're messing with everything, and all that stuff is set up automatically. If I set up a subscription method so someone can enter their email, they'll automatically become a subscriber when they enter their username and email address. That's going to happen for them automatically. So it's not really something we have to worry too much about. Obviously, you can go into your profile here, and you can mess with your specific user profile if you want to give yourself different privileges or anything like that. It can all be done through here.
Right. We can also, this is just a side note, you can disable this toolbar here, which is this at the top, which is only for it's for administrators. There are different levels of it for different users, but that way when you're going through the site, sometimes having this up when you're using a custom theme can, if you're not accounting for it, can make your theme look a little wonky.
Yeah.
So sometimes I disable that.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and go to tools. There's not really tools. There's only really one tool that we ever use, and that's import and export.
Right.
And the import is if you're going to, and we show this, we actually have a video showing this at the end of the course, which is importing a site from one URL or from a domain to a different domain. So maybe if you build an entire website for a client on your on a staging server, on your own server perhaps, and you're ready to move it over, they've okayed everything, you would use the import tool and the export tool. The export to export all of the content, the images, the posts, the pages, and settings. You would do that. You click here on your WordPress importer. Am I on import? Yeah. Yep. Well, it's the same thing. You're going to use it for importing and exporting. This is just a plugin that you install. And then when you're ready to export, where am I at? The interface is basically like this. You can export all of the content, or you can just do individual posts or pages. And then when you're ready to, you get to the other website where you're loading in the new content. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to import WordPress, and then you're going to drop in that file here, import it, and your content's all going to be saved and moved over for you.
Yeah, and aside from this, there are other things you can do from it. You can export media specifically, or like the other day I had to go in and export my email list or my list of subscribers that were my site. Like we talked about the subscribers earlier. You can specifically export them to upload them to an email list, to a mailing list. So it'll give you a specific document for that. So there are a couple other uses for it, but this as developers is primarily what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be using it to import and export our WordPress sites.
Right.